Hi everyone! Today we're going to do a reading and see the message about what you need to leave behind, what you need to put behind you and bury it for this season. And so we're going to look at what the issue is and what you can do or what path you need to be on to let it go. So if that's a topic, that's an issue relevant to you, let's continue. Okay, what you need to put behind you has to do with the conflicting identity. So there might be some hard time, you might be going through some hard time dealing with how you present yourself in the world, and maybe that's, these are two just very different images. It's almost like Ed and Wednesday, right? So if that's causing you trouble, you feel like you're living the double-sided life, but you feel like that's part of whole. You definitely have different sides in you, but the problem is maybe society or your community just doesn't allow for that to be there. So the image, it's kind of the image of these feeling like one each as a whole and they can't merge with each other. That might be what you need to leave behind. And so that's not hard. We often need to go through some pretty big transition or a shift in the narrative to see things as intimately, to see such an intimate thing as self-identity in a new way. You kind of have to, the worldview really have to change a little bit. So that might not be easy. Let's see. What can you do, or what is the approach for you to leave this behind? Okay. So with ritual and nature spirits, there is a kind of focus on the wholeness. We talk about this as seeing ourselves as a very different entity, being a different kind of person at different times, a different crowd. And this is all talking about seeing the much bigger picture. What is it that you're really trying to manifest? What are the top 3 things you care about? And do you see the connection of things kind of beneath the obvious? Often what we react to and what hurts us is often when we react in the most kind of surface level ways, and often those kind of reactions that do not come from some pause or deeper within, those are the surface level reaction we often have is out of habit or out of protecting ourselves, and that come often from past hurt. So you are being encouraged to not be so much to look further than the words people say or the action they do. Kind of look behind the current. What is the humanity about this? Or what is even the physical law, the energetic laws about things? And when you see the pattern, can you ignore the little nagging things that is pulling at you and weighing you down at a very frequent level? So stepping back, seeing the bigger pattern and see what's really important, how you want to direct your energy to flow. That might be a way to help you to kind of leave behind any duality or kind of a double-faced feeling that you have. And still, let's see if this past was how it was valuable. What lessons have you learned from it? It's hard to hear that, but oftentimes difficult situations are pulling us to expand ourselves. There are a lot of places, a lot of realizations we wouldn't have if we haven't been pushed by life into different positions. Maybe maybe you had thoughts about, well, there are things I would never do, or I would never become a person like that. And then one day you start to realize, I'm becoming the thing that I said I never would. But that's not necessarily a bad thing if you look at it from this kind of angle. If you pause and look at it without judgment, it's just a different reality, maybe a different story, and now you expand your story from one book to a series, to a mini series. So from expanding and kind of trying out different roles and being asked to play different characters or act out different parts of yourself in your life, that leads to you to a lot of expansion. You are maybe able to walk in other people's shoes. So even if a lot of interactions feel like it could be challenging or hostile, unfriendly, or just kind of unfair, but once you're able to slowly pull out your identity from that position, and then you'll start to see more of kind of the growth story, the backstory of what your character was. It's kind of like watching a very beloved movie. You watch it time and time and again, and you identify with one character, and then okay, I think I'm talking about myself, and then you rewatch it a long time later, and I found myself relating much more to what seemed like the antagonist or a totally different person. So look at it as just you have to expand to different perspectives and different types of characters in your life. And yeah, stepping out of so first in your mind, begin to plant the seed that you're no longer who you were before. You could be in whatever phase. You could be in the dreaming phase, you could be in the falling, the autumn phase. Maybe you're in the bulk phase where you're just dreaming up the new step, the next chapter, but you have no idea. And that's why it feels so difficult. Often I feel like the time between solstice and bulk is a very difficult time. It doesn't feel very defined. It's like, isn't the darkest time over? But why am I still so stuck? Why is it still so cold? Why are things uninteresting and not obvious? Yeah. So allow yourself to plant that seed of stepping into a new perspective, and talk to yourself in a way that encourages that. It might be really, deep, dark in the soil, or behind the scenes where you're taking in different nutrients. You're making the connections. You are the pumpkin grows, and I think it's pretty amazing how, I don't know, it's very basic nutrients that plants take: water, sun, and then they keep growing, and they can keep growing. And we don't always know what's happening, what's useful, what is not. But allow that kind of almost allow that expansion, everything that is not clear. Okay, and how can you use these lessons for your future next steps? Use what you've learned to continue to grow. Okay. So we had a protection, and we'll see, that was in, yeah. So that's standing out to me. First of all, with rebirth, that is pretty much following what we're saying, going from really one pretty set in stone kind of way of life to not seeing, looking beyond the obvious and the physical, looking at the patterns, and then take stock of how you've expanded. Just compare yourself right now to maybe before this whole thing started. How have you changed? How have you grown? And how did you get here? How did you get here? This is also talking about this. Take credit for both what you've done and explore on your own in darkness, and also what your environment has provided you with. It could be people, or it could be just nature. These are kind of the allies that I'm seeing here. Her going forward, that means rebirth. Rebirth, that is, let's see. So of course we have the fire going. We do have to, you do want to burn that past. We talk about burying the past here. Burying the conflict that you see, and kind of commit to seeing the Tao of it, maybe how the whole exists only because of the opposites, and how the opposites, all they do is to show what the whole can be, how massive, how expansive the whole can be. It's only shown by seeing opposing sides of one thing. Yeah, and this is really encouraging. I'm really happy for you. The rebirth is kind of transformation, of course, but there's something even more pure about it. It is about it is a little bit more about your soul and your deep inner self. It is not so much about what you can achieve, your projects and your life, your relationships with other people. So yeah, look forward and hold the intent that that you are renewing from within. And yeah, I know that can be hard when it feels like things have been hard, and good for you if you can feel proud of how you've come through and how you've grown. But if that is hard to see, kind of stare into the fire, if you can, into a candle. You see all the, as the fire burns, it's got this power of heat and transformation, and there's all these different things happening. You got the flame in the center, and you got the brightest color at the edges. What I want to say is your light can, and under the sun, the candlelight might seem like very trivial, and only takes the light for the light to go away to show what you've already had. So even if you don't see it, hold the intent and hold the self-love for yourself. The thing is, feel like both energetically and just with people, be mindful of who you share what is going on for you right now, because this does feel like there are people, or there are just influences that might be scared of you, scared of your rebirth. They're clinging on very tightly to what benefits them. So kind of keeping what's going on for you between yourself and your higher power and your guides. Just kind of be mindful. Yeah, because I usually don't do reverse, and this one popped up here. Let's see what the message says. This is my house, stained by the very blood flowing through its walls, covered in a veil of delicious prayers, yet deadly to those who dare live its hidden. So, okay, so this is also good. This, yes, just know that you have the ability. We kind of see the echo of like, yeah, like three figures here and 3 figures there. That means that you're not going to be overpowered. You have the strength, you have the community that you will be able to see. And okay, for this one, let's just see what's in the book. Reversed, be warned, there are influences around that wish you harm. Take additional steps to protect yourself and call in your spiritual team to provide additional cover. Let's see. And then crystals or spells you can use to send this negative energy back to its origin. Take the proper steps to protect yourself when working magic. You are opening your sacred container to the world when working your spells. Cherish it. Okay, so yes, all the transformation and kind of the trying of new things, that is opening you up. That's why it feels scary and vulnerable. So this might not really just mean people around you. This might just mean influences, energies that's gonna confuse you, pull you in different directions, and make you more confused, especially when you're kind of entering a seeker kind of mode. So protect yourself from too many opinions. Let's put it that way. Protect yourself from too many opinions. Okay. Let's see. So to wrap it all up, I think I would like to pull a card from a different deck, and just to confirm, to help you confirm on the direction you're going and all the love you're receiving from the universe. What's the final message? What's the final message for you? What do you already know? What do you already know that is true and empowering? Okay, unraveling. Okay, so this is confirmation that you already felt this and you've been waiting for something to happen. Know that you're protected and you're blessed on this journey. This is a card of, in terms of 4 stages of transformation, according to this deck, Intuitive Whispers. This is very early stages. This is card number 2. It is just unraveling. So it might feel a little unsettling just with how unclear and aimless maybe how things are. And be patient and be persistent and love yourself. This is, if you have been through a similar transformation before, look back to that time, how you've come through, and if there's any advice that you would give yourself. Is there a way to trust, to relax, and to observe. What if your work right now is not to manifest, not create, not change other people, but to take in the information? Like, just like we talk about, as it is kind of the mode of invoke. Okay, let's see if the book has any additional information for this card. Your message. Unraveling. Yeah, a lot of processing, self-processing, journaling, free writing. Yeah, you will slowly find what's blocking you. And so this is not from, and then not from the cards, just for me. I've started reading Dr. Wayne Dyer's Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And because it is a book about Tao Te Ching, it talks about like duality and the whole, and how all is one. From, if you're not familiar with Chinese or Eastern philosophies, that might help you bring on a fresh perspective on how to see it, and how to be more connected with the perspective of oneness. Oneness that includes all the contradictions. Okay, so thank you for being here. That was lovely, and I will see you in another video.